Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Coin Lady channel. Most of you have undoubtedly already seen variations of this explanation on a number of news programs and read versions of this explanation in a number of news articles. Obviously, it does not help those who aren't acquainted with the terminology in any way. However, these words cannot be avoided. Understanding this case and future ones that may emerge as the bull market brings more attention to cryptocurrency requires familiarity with all of these terms. In this article, I will define some key concepts and explain why they're important, and I will list several arguments in favor of Ripple's legal victory. Read on to find out more details. Watch this brand new movie right now if this is something that interests you. We'd like to take this opportunity to introduce you to our channel, where we discuss recent developments in the XRP ecosystem and the wider cryptocurrency industry. If you're viewing one of our videos for the first time, we want to extend a warm welcome. You can prevent missing any videos by turning on notifications. On December 21, news broke that the SEC would be suing Ripple, the company behind XRP, which sent shockwaves through the cryptocurrency sector. The SEC formally revealed their lawsuit against Ripple the following day, naming CEO Brad Garlinghouse and co-founder Chris Larsen as defendants. XRP will be classified as a security rather than a currency in the United States if the SEC prevails in its litigation against Ripple. This will establish a new standard under the Howie test, which could lead to comparable cryptocurrencies being categorized as securities in the future. First, let's define stocks. A security is simply an item that symbolizes ownership in another entity. Company shares and government notes both fit into this category. Stocks are governed by laws that are much more stringent than those governing currency or commodities. You can think of money, oil, and food. Also, etc. The Securities and Exchange Commission is responsible for establishing and enforcing laws regarding the trading of stocks in the United States. Many digital currencies are technically securities because they were offered to early adopters through an ICO. This is because the vast majority of ICOs for new cryptocurrencies do not yet have a usable product. To the extent that the business actually develops the technology it claims to be developing, the value of the tokens it issues will increase in proportion to the number of tokens sold. These tokens are deemed securities under US law because they share many characteristics with stock shares but are not technically stock. Since the United States, Canada, and a few other countries have prohibitive or stringent securities laws, buyers from those countries are typically excluded from ICOs. Take North Korea as an illustration. The hassle of selling the token to US investors and trying to persuade US-based cryptocurrency exchanges to feature the token for trading is usually not worth it. The SEC's lawsuit against Ripple centers on the claim that XRP is a security, more particularly an unregistered security that Ripple has illegally sold to investors for the past 7.5 years. This security classification is controversial because it would greatly expand the definitions found in the Howie test. Explain the Howie exam to me. To determine whether an asset is a security, the SEC and other pertinent regulatory bodies apply the Howie test. The Howie test is summarized by the following question: is the asset's monetary worth dependent on the efforts of a third party? If you're scratching your head, maybe you should think about what causes a stock price to rise or fall. In theory, the stock represents the performance of the business itself. What this refers to is the movement of the asset's worth. The success of the business itself is intrinsically linked to the stock's performance. This type of threshold makes sense for conventional assets, but it's easy to see how it could cause some issues with virtual currencies. This is due to the fact that many cryptocurrencies have influential creators who may be able to manipulate the value of their money. Tokens like Ethereum, Cardano, Bitcoin, etc. The proponents of cryptocurrencies argue that the ownership and management of a network like Bitcoin's is distributed and decentralized, in contrast to the centralized ownership and management of financial markets. Even though the XRP network is more centralized than other cryptocurrencies, some have argued that it is still decentralized enough to warrant being placed in the same legal category as Bitcoin because there is officially no singular entity behind the project. However, the SEC suit claims XRP is a security based on Ripple's, Brad Garlinghouse's, and Chris Larsen's private communications and promotional activities. It was common knowledge among the three that XRP barely passed the Howie test and could have been labeled an asset. However, they continue to participate in actions that can be categorized as the work of a third party with respect to the worth of the XRP asset. So, what exactly is a precedent in law? Precedent is used by the majority of legal institutions worldwide. This means that they consider previous decisions in comparable cases, if any, before making a decision in the present case. The suit against Ripple is somewhat unique among the many SEC lawsuits already filed against various cryptocurrency initiatives. As was discussed previously, Ripple and two of its senior executives may be responsible for XRP being classified as a security. Some have speculated that this would open the Howie test up to include other comparable cryptocurrencies in addition to XRP. If you want to be among the first to know about breaking news, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. As for XRP, the token's value exploded on Wednesday on the back of rising hopes that Ripple, with which the token is closely associated, would prevail in its protracted legal fight with the US Securities and Exchange Commission. At 8 a.m., the token was valued about 45 cents. CoinInfo indicates that it is 8:00 p.m. Eastern Time. Gecko gained more than 1% in the past day. Earlier this week, it was up as much as 20% in buying. Traders noted that Ripple had filed a supplementary notice on Monday, referencing a decision in a separate case involving Binance's US rescue plan for defunct cryptocurrency lender Voyager Digital. All of Voyager's assets, including the BCY cryptocurrency, were supposed to be purchased by Binance's US subsidiary for $1.3 billion. According to the notice from Ripple, the SEC rejected the proposal on the grounds that BGX was similar to a security and that Binance was an unregistered securities exchange. The bankruptcy judge, however, found the SEC's arguments to be too general and approved the bankruptcy plan because the SEC had not provided any specifics about what the debtors were allegedly required to show. To show that, contrary to what the Ripple message claimed, BGX was not a security. When CNBC reached out to the SEC for feedback, nobody answered the phone. US securities laws were allegedly broken by Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse and co-founder Chris Larsen when they sold XRP without first filing the cryptocurrency with the SEC. Competitive waves. Despite the SEC's accusations, the consensus remains that XRP is best classified as a cryptocurrency, not an asset. Ripple's president, Monica Long, expressed optimism to CNBC Wednesday morning about a favorable resolution to the SEC battle, adding that she expects it to be resolved this year. According to Long, the chances of the court siding with the SEC are slim to none. The evidence and the legislation, in our opinion, support our position. XRP classification as an asset could have far-reaching effects on the cryptocurrency market as a whole. The SEC may need to keep an eye on a flood of tokens if they all wind up being the same type of regulated financial instrument. Both Ripple and the SEC's final briefs requesting summary judgment have been filed. A decision in the lawsuit is now pending before Judge Annalisa Torres of the Southern District of New York. When exactly she will make her choice is unclear. Nonetheless, there are crypto buyers who anticipate a resolution within the next few days. XRP is gaining strength as a result of the lawsuit, with the SEC having a chance of succeeding. According to an email sent by Luno to CNBC on Wednesday, the vice president of international at crypto exchange is named Vijay Iyer. The token's worth has increased to the point where it is the sixth largest in the world. That's what Iyer said. Let's move on to the day's meat and potatoes. Is regulation by coercion the way forward? In addition, I will provide some elementary justifications for why Ripple will win the case. According to Ripple's Long, the SEC is regulating the industry through enforcement rather than laying out clear rules. She claimed that Europe's treatment of cryptocurrencies is more advanced than that of the United States by pointing to the bloc's regulated markets for crypto assets. All of us in the business community would prefer clear standards and regulation, but instead we're seeing action through enforcement. The saying goes back a ways. Europe is taking the lead in establishing the rules and laws necessary for the widespread adoption of cryptocurrency by both new and established financial institutions. The SEC has made it clear that it expects all cryptocurrency businesses and initiatives to conform to federal securities rules. When asked by CNBC about the SEC's crackdown on the cryptocurrency exchange Kraken in February, SEC Chair Gary Gensler said that only a small number of tokens are actually registered, and that the intermediaries, or storefronts, or casinos, where people are investing their money need to properly comply and disentangle these bundled products. Rules and laws that have stood the test of time to safeguard investors are essential to the continued existence and growth of this industry. Many cryptocurrency exchanges have come under fire from the authority in recent weeks over allegations that they are conducting unregistered securities offerings. After claims were made about Paxos's native stablecoin on a cryptocurrency exchange, the SEC allegedly issued the stablecoin's issuer, Paxos, with a notice threatening legal action. The exchange Binance should have been listed as a security with the appropriate authorities. On December 22 ND, the regulator hit cryptocurrency lender Genesis and exchange Gemini with charges, claiming the business's high-yield investment product should have been classified as an security. Ripple published a synopsis of their financial proposal. In response to a Wells notice, a notice that the SEC intends to take legal action and the reasons for doing so, this document is submitted to the SEC. The Wells submission gave the sense that the SEC suit was without merit and that Ripple would easily prevail in court if the SEC had the guts to proceed with the lawsuit. That is, until a few hours later, when the SEC made public the entire lawsuit. The document's explicit content has since raised doubts about Ripple's ability to win this lawsuit, pushing XRP into obscurity. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching, folks. Be careful to give the video a positive rating. Be sure to register and activate the bell for alerts. Please like and subscribe my channel. See you later, bye.